2011 did extreme damage to our city as well as the school district. Of our 20 school buildings, we had damage to 4, and we totally lost 6 additional buildings. So a total of 10 buildings were affected by the tornado. That also left students, approximately 4,200, without schools to attend. But the biggest issue was that we had over 3,000 students that were affected with their lives and their housing by the damage. With the school buildings being damaged, of course, we had to look at immediately after the tornado what we were going to do to take care of that issue. But also, one of the buildings that was damaged was our administration building, where our hard servers for Versatrans were stored. They were damaged during the tornado, but then the rain that came even the few days after caused damage continuous to that. Transportation department experienced, first of all, we wanted to use what we could to identify our students and to find out those students. We used Versatrans to do that, to identify the students within that damage boundary zone so that we could identify them, so that we could check on those students and to make sure that everything was okay with them, that they were in either temporary housing or that they had some place to be, and also check on their well-being. Immediately after the tornado, within about 2.5, 3 weeks, we went ahead and held summer school, and we did transportation for that, even that short after the damage had taken place. We did that in an effort to help give some normalcy back to our students, but also in an effort to help parents have a place for their students to be while they dealt with the issues from the damage with insurance and with taking care of loved ones who were injured. And then as we came into the fall to prepare for that, which we had school, we had several temporary locations that students were at. We combined some schools to allow for that transportation. So we had to use Versatrans to help us make those changes, change building locations, change student assignments, and just revamp the entire program so that we could supply transportation for students for that fall. With the amount of students that were displaced, we ran buses out of our district, which had not been done previously, in several of the surrounding areas, because any available housing that had been in Joplin was now taken up. We had FEMA temporary housing, which was actually outside of Joplin's district. And so we used our buses that we had, plus we leased 10 additional buses to help us taking care of all that additional busing. Now, as folks have moved out of the temporary housing and moved back into the area, into newly constructed homes and businesses and apartment complexes, we're now using Versatrans to help us try to pare those down so that we can reduce the amount of buses we need by reducing the amount of routes and being more efficient in what we're doing. We spent a lot of time on the telephone with the people from Tyler. Matter of fact, I've had personally now an opportunity to put names with faces with some of those folks and to tell them personally thank you for how they stepped up. But they worked right alongside with us to help us immediately after the damage, but have helped us continuously since the tornado and the storm to answer any questions that we have and some of the unique challenges that we've been presented with. Versatrans, I've told people even just today that I would brag on Versatrans and their customer service across the board, not just with school districts or with anything. I would post their customer service against anybody in the nation. They work wonderfully with us. They're compassionate. They're passionate, again, with what they do, and they're always willing to help. They never seem like, when we contact them, that we're cumbersome or bothersome, but that they are actually excited and happy to reach out and to help us. This fall, we'll be moving into our new high school. Will be the last step, moving towards some sort of new normalcy for us. As I've stated before, the fact that we had a tragedy which was outside of our scope of being able to have control of. But what we do have control of is how we responded. And I'm so proud of our community, of our school district, and even the nation as a whole that came to volunteer. It's not so much about the tragedy, but about the resiliency of the human spirit in our community and what we've done since that time, and the rebuilding and the camaraderie that we've experienced as a community.